Good morning. I was listening to the internet. Sometimes I like to listen to anecdotes. This young woman was talking about her life. She was still young. She and her boyfriend was waiting for the right moment to get married. But that only can happen if they have enough income because housing is impossible. With their salary is impossible. And I was like, okay, their salary is not enough to get a house. Housing, apartment, whatever. Then the interviewer asked, what about your parents? She said, oh no, they don't want us there. I was like, what's wrong with parents nowadays? They don't want the happiness of their children. Because the happiness of your children is your happiness too. Why being so selfish? And then she explained, we are Christians. And I was like, oh, okay. Christians and Catholics, they don't want their children around. They want to get them out as soon as possible. I never understood that. What ends up happening is that they get a job and they spend all their income in rent and food and whatever and failed relationships. And around 40, they realize they wasted their lives and their parents probably divorced as well. And it's a big mess. You see, I was listening to this GEW. I can't even say because of, the obvious reasons. This GEW, he was talking about his life. He said, I'm going to tell you guys secrets about the success of my culture. And I was like, okay, I'm all ears. He said some stuff. Most of it I didn't, believe, of course. But there was something that stuck with me, and I believe that's the one that ensures the success of a particular group, culture, etc. He said, the moment the child is born, the family actively looks for a way so he can have a life, a way of life, an income. If that way doesn't exist, they will try to create it. They're not expecting someone like a government or other cultures to come up with opportunities. No, that's stupid. So they themselves create opportunities so their children may take advantage of. Yeah? And it's the same thing in finding a partner. They actively look for suitable partners and try to match them. And you would say, oh, that's so old fashioned. Is it? What do you know about life when you're 15 and your hormones are raging? What do you know of life? Nothing. It's better to, listen to someone who has more experience, right? So if your parents say, oh, look, this way of life is good, maybe you should study and get that way of life. Let's help us. Let's help you help us. Or maybe you should date that girl. She's, good parents. Maybe you should listen to them. Yeah. I don't know. The reason why they are so successful, the GEW, is because of maybe that. Yeah. If they fail, everybody, doesn't notice. They are out of the radar. But if they succeed, people start getting, jealous. Divorce is a big thing as well. The reason why nowadays everybody's broke is it's because we come from multiple generations of divorces. That's how you destroy intra-generational wealth. Even millionaires, especially the new millionaires, they don't seem to hold their fortune very well. They explode everything. They just end up broke. They don't leave anything behind. There's still old money being passed, but it's not that much. The thing I've heard, those lords from that country, yeah, they're so broke. They're trying to fix marriages with other peoples around the world so they can keep their, mansions and palaces, and because they can't afford to, keep them. Intra-generational wealth is very important, and it's an active work from the parents to the children, to maintain it and to keep it. Nowadays, nobody, everybody's broke because of that. Not just that, they don't inherit anything, but um, you know, the obvious agriculture and industry is gone. I just scratch my head. I mean, it doesn't take a very intelligent person to know that the basis of any economy is agriculture and industry. Why would you want to, segregate it from, why do you want to take it away? It doesn't make any sense. Any government that pretty much let go of agriculture and industry is, I mean, traders. Traders. You just don't do that. That's pretty much settling your country to extinction, because that, economically, that's the basis of any economy. So people are struggling, and families are not, being created. And people who are coming out of school nowadays, even though they have a master's degree or whatever, they don't have a job. There are no jobs available. And the ones who are available are made up jobs. Yeah, they are made up. It's useless, most of the jobs we have nowadays. Some desk job doing, some bullshit. It's not real, because industry and agriculture, mining, that's the basis, and that's the foundation of everything. The jobs are bureaucratic, a network of a bureaucracy, which eventually will collapse. Anyway, I just don't get it, because she said they were Christian, Pentecostal, and I thought to myself, yeah, the Christians and the Catholics, they are very, selfish. They don't want to, they just want to kick the kids out. It doesn't make any sense. There's cultures in which, parents, uncles, everybody lives in the same house. If there's enough room, I just don't get it. Of course, there's low birth rates. Of course, there's low birth rates. There's no stability at all. There's no future. It's crazy.